As I started to say, welcome. Happy Sunday, and hope everything is going okay for y'all. Welcome to live Q&A number 25, in which case we're going to be talking about the video I posted earlier today. That was about it was part two on the Distort tool, in which I made a few different made a couple of corrections to last week's video and added in the part about baking the distortion. Dirty Knob says can't see you now. Well, I'm watching over on the other YouTube and I see it just fine. So um, clean your screen, Dirty Knobs. So yeah, man, that got me thrown all kind of off kilter, and I got to start all over again. So I tell you what we'll do. Let's go down the list and see who all is joining us here. We have Steve Nealon over at Harneal Media, webmaster to the stars. Harnealmedia.com. If you are looking for a website, a web store, a blog, whichever, whatever, Steve knows, he's the man. He knows what he's doing. Kurt Bruegel, Larry Blair, David Krause, Gary Hammett, John DeRoos, Kevin Els, all the way down in South Africa. Holy cow. Hope you're having a good evening. It's probably tomorrow night there, I believe. I don't know. Time changes. Ayal Peleg over in Israel. How you doing, Ayal? Wendell Holland, Mike B., DePatrick's Workshop. Let's see. Would if I could, John C. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce your last name, Simon. I really don't want to butcher it, but welcome aboard. John Horgan, Dirty Knobs, John Augustson, Jim Hester, James B. Grant, Lester Wiggin. Wow, whole bunch of people telling me my audio is bad, and yes, it was. Greg Hurt. Let's see. I'm going down some of the same names here. Christina Cord, no braille needed. I apologize for the audio mix-up. So let's see. Mike Gallo, KG, Rockin' Woodworks, Eloy Escojedo, my partner in crime on the Trampled Underfoot Podcast, which we record not on my channel, but on the Trampled Underfoot Podcast channel, Tuesday nights here on YouTube. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. It's kind of a pop culture, just two guys at opposite ends of the continent talking about life, the universe, and everything. Music, movies, history, nostalgia. If you know, if there's a subject out there, we'll talk about it. We don't care. So feel free to come and join us. Trampled Underfoot Podcast here on YouTube. We also have a Facebook page. Go over to Facebook, look for Trampled Underfoot Podcast. We have a good time, and hopefully you'll join us and have a good time too. Let's see, Ron Owensby. And holy cow, well, thank you very much, Patrick's, for the super chat. $2 to fix my settings. Yeah, I think I'm going to need it, Patrick. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see, Don Lee in Carolina. Okay. So now that we've got that all caught up, gee, I wonder what I should talk about now. That was quite an experience. So this morning's video, were there any questions on this morning's video as far as the Distort tool, baking the settings, and modifying the envelope using that bounding box to kind of shape entire objects? And I didn't show it, I didn't demonstrate it in the video, but that can be used to shape entire blocks of text. Now, I'm going to plug another video. I don't have a link in the description for it just yet. I'm still trying to find the video, but I will. Gentleman, a buddy of mine by the name of Rob Schuster, who makes some killer projects over there on his YouTube channel. He did a video some time back about taking the open book 3D model that comes with the Vectric clip art in the clip art library and modifying the text so that it looks like it conforms to the shape of that open book. And that's a very, very cool video and a very, very cool project. Using this Distort tool would go perfectly with that project. I'm going to link it in the description as soon as this video goes live and becomes just a standard video. But it's an excellent technique that gives it just a little bit more realism and makes it look like the text is kind of bending with the page. And this would be a good technique to apply along with it. So let's see here. Okay. I was talking to Ron Owensby. I thought that was for me. There is one more Distort Tool video I'm going to do, maybe this next week, maybe not. I had to confirm a few things before I put it out, and I talked about this last week on the live Q&A, and that is it is possible in Aspire only. It's not possible in VCarve, but it's possible in Aspire only to use the Distort tool on a 3D model. So if you have an odd shape that you want to distort a particular carving to, you can distort that 3D model using above the line, between two lines, and with the bounding box. So I am going to do another video on that as part of my 3D modeling series. It is, again, Aspire only. It does not work in VCarve at all. So that would be... That's something to keep an eye open if you use Aspire. So let's see. Greg Hurt, very nice overview on distorting, new CNC user, and always have enjoyed the video. Thank you very much, Greg. I do appreciate that. I'm just glad folks are finding a use for them and finding them helpful. Let's see. IL Peleg wants to know, could you move the envelope used for the distortion without or before doing the actual distortion, or must you start with the binding rectangle? You can move it, and that's why they offer the move and transform mode. You can move it around a little bit and then adjust it to where you want it. Rather than having to close down the Distort tool and go into move and transform mode to put it where you want it, you can just do that real quick switch right there, go from mudded envelope to move and transform mode, and put it where you need it to. And you can do all of that editing until you hit bake distortion. The minute you hit bake distortion, all bets are off. You can't go back to the Distort tool. You will basically have to start over. Although you can Control Z to remove that baking. It will remember that. So... let's see. For example, IL continues, if you want to put a triangle around the vector to be distorted and then distorting based on the triangle. Yes, you certainly can. It does not have to be... Well, let's see. I'm going to have to look into that. You can distort it to the shape of the triangle. And that's what moving around the 4 points on the bounding box... I've not tried to remove one of those points to see if I could make it a triangle, but you can bring those points in to one on top of the other. So this is one of those, this is just one of those things where you can get in and play. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, I mean, now you know. But I have not actually, you know what, let's do it. Let me bring up Aspire here and I'll screen share. We'll go ahead and let me make sure that I am actually screen sharing. And we'll go ahead and we'll put something out here. Let's do a little bit of text out here. let it load up all the fonts and what have you. And I don't know where I want to go here with this. Let's just type in. That looks good enough. No, let's make it a block text. I don't want that font. Let's go back to this. There we go. We'll close that. And now let me distort it with the bounding box. We'll apply. And let's go in and see. We're in Edit Envelope. Let's try. Well, let's make it bigger first of all. We'll need to go out here a little bit. Let's just make it a little bit wider at the bottom. And we will remove one point. Delete point. Nope, it won't let me delete the point. So let's try dropping the 2 points. Nope, it won't let me do that either. It still has to go. Okay, no, it won't let me do that either. It won't let me delete a point. And it won't let me convert that into a triangle. So here's what we'll do. If we're trying to distort text, it's real easy to put into, well, it should be easy to put into a triangle. Let's find out. We'll go with a 3-sided polygon, and we'll create that in the center. Close. I want to make that bigger. So we'll go into Move and Transform. Make that bigger, and now I'll use this to draw text inside and see if we can shape it using that triangle. And we'll go. Nope, it's not going to. Oh, I didn't select the triangle. No pressure, Mark. Let's. Okay, I did too. Nope, it's not going to do it. So what we'll have to do is just kind of move this around down here. I think this is probably going to be about the best way I can do it. Is using a bounding box. Let's apply. And we'll bring this up here like so. Down here like so. That's about the best I can do to get it into a triangle. That's about the best I can do. Is draw out the triangle and then change the bounding box. Bring the bottom 2 corners out to the corners of the triangle. Take that center span and draw it up to the center. And then now, I still can't delete those points. Okay, that's fine. Well, that's probably about the best I can do for something like that. Then bake the distortion, close. Then I can get rid of the triangle. And my text is now shaped like a triangle. I hope that's what you were looking for. So is that more or less what you were after? So we'll see. Let's see. Looks like the intro to Star Wars movie. Could use this application for future projects. Yeah, I mean, the sky is the limit, Greg Hurt. You can do all kinds of nifty stuff with this. And that's the beauty of it. Just get in and play. And there really aren't any rules. And it's just kind of one of those things that sets your work apart from the rest. You know. You said that was nice, but not exactly what you meant. Shoot me an email. And if you have kind of any sketches or drawings of what you're trying to do, and I can figure it out, I'll get in and experiment and see if I can figure something out that'll work for you. You can distort, if you're talking about distorting triangles themselves, you certainly can. You can distort any object that you want. just, need to have a vector object and then use the bounding box, or above a single line or between two lines. Just get in and play. I mean, I can't tell you how much time I spend in this software just doing weird things with my name. I'll just type my name in a box and just play around and try different settings with V carving or quick engraving, single line fonts or true type fonts, or just, you know, it whatever works. So just have fun with it. I don't watch television. I'm either knee deep in the hoopla and the software, or I'm a YouTube fanatic, or I'm watching somebody's live stream, or I'm taking part in a live stream. So let's see. Belated Happy New Year, Mark. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Greg Hurt, you hit it right on the head, Mark. Wife does craft events and always telling me to set the work apart from others. Yeah, it it becomes, I don't know how many craft shows you attend or demonstrations, crafting events where you have a lot of vendors, but it gets to the point to where as you're walking down in between, you've got a line of vendors on one side and a line of vendors on the other side. It all starts to look the same. So after you've been there for a little while, I mean, just a little while, people start moving faster and faster through because it's all looks the same. But if you have something different out there, something that stands out and jumps, something that draws the eye. And even if it's just something as simple as a sandwich board, that's blackboard and is painted up nice with a little, some chalk drawings or what have you with the name of your business or something like that on it. If you can make it stand out and look different from everybody else and make the items that you offer stand out from everybody else, then you're going to get the attention where other folks are just being passed by. I mean, there are only so many cutting boards a person needs. There are only so many monogram door hangers a person needs. But if that's all a person is seeing as they're walking through, they're not even going to bother to stop and look at what else you have. So you got to hit them with something high impact right up front to get them to even turn their heads. So if you can offer some tasty looking text that nobody else is doing, or some nicer carvings or some more intricate paintwork or epoxy inlays or something of that nature, then all the better. So the whole point is to make your stuff stand out and look a lot more personal. I mean, I use this kind of stuff even on just gifts that I'm giving to the grandkids, which is, to be frank, most of what I do anymore. Projects for around the house and projects to give away to the kids or grandkids. So, but yeah, just let your imagination run wild. I see you're saying you're not actually trying anything, just learning, don't even have any of these software installed yet. Go to the website, download and install the free trial. I mean, the price is right. It's a free trial. And anything that you save while using the free trial can be reopened in the paid version later on if you decide to buy the software, so long as it's on the same computer. That's one of the things that Vectric engineers into the software. If you create something on in the trial version, it has to be reopened on the same computer, even in a paid version. And that's to keep people from just downloading the trial version, making up a bunch of files and selling them or taking them somewhere else and loading them up and cutting them without actually buying the software. So, but yeah, the trial versions will let you do everything except save G code. But if you go to Vectric's website, there are a bunch of their free monthly projects that are trial version friendly, where you can load it in, change the project a little bit to match your material, then save G-code and go out and cut it just to see how you like how it works with your setup. So, Poppy's Woodshed, Mervyn Schumacher checking in. How you doing? Hope you're having a good Sunday. Okay, so were there any questions at all on distorting text, distorting objects, me trying to get my microphone to work this morning? Anything at all? Good grief, we've already been on here for almost 30 minutes. So, I don't know if the Distort 3D carvings, the 3D models, is going to be next week's video. I probably should go ahead and do it just to get this whole Distort thing behind me. I've been in the middle of a project that I'm cutting for my wife, a yarn shelf for out in her living room. And it does involve some CNC for out in her yarn room, not her living room. It does involve the CNC, cutting shelf brackets and what have you. But the weather has been so rotten here, I haven't been able to finish it. I haven't been able to paint it. It's too cold to paint. So that's what the holdup is on that. I've got two videos already created on it. But, hey, Dave Gatton jumping in. How you doing, Dave? Watched your video earlier today, and all I can say is awesome. I'm jealous, big time. So, if y'all don't know who Dave Gatton is, first off, shame on you. Second off, put your cursor over his name over there in the chat. Click on those the three little dots that show up. Go to channel, right click and open that in a new tab. Go subscribe to Dave's channel. That's all there is to it. I don't need to tell you why. Go subscribe to Dave's channel. So, Percy Cooka, welcome aboard. We get a lot of carving projects here. What's the best benchmark for price costing, as some jobs can go on for a whole day? For example, a fixed square foot rate. Percy, I wouldn't even presume to try to tell you how to price your work. You know your market. About the best thing I could say is kind of shop around a little bit and see what others are charging. And, it's hard to give any kind of a cut and dried answer that you should charge a certain amount per square foot or a certain amount per hour, because especially with 3D work, it would be easy to price yourself right out of business. Because there's no way really to recoup an hourly shop rate on something that takes 11 hours to carve, but is something you can hold in one hand. So basically just kind of do a little bit of market research in your area and see what your market will allow, what your market will bear. So Podman wants to know, do you think it's worth upgrading from VCarve Pro 9.5 to version 10? Personally, yes, I do. Now, I saw a question up here earlier. Somebody asking about any hints on version 10.5. Okay, number one, I don't work for Vectric. I'm not an employee. I'm not a spokesman. I don't know anything more than anybody else does. But something I did notice, so this may be a little bit of a hint on what's going on with version 10.5. That is Vectric's user group meeting this year in San Diego, California, September 26th, 27th. One of the presentations they're doing at the user group meeting is what's new in version 10.5. So that tells me version 10.5 will be coming out sometime between now and then. So the next 6 months, basically, 5 months. Or 7 months, excuse me. Can't count. Personally, if it were me going from 9.5, I would wait until 10.5 comes out. I really would. You know, when you upgrade, it's kind of sort of like buying all new software. If you have to pay for the upgrade, it's like buying new software. You get free updates for 1 year. Now, we know there's going to be an upgrade coming up, version 10.0 to 10.5, within the next 12 months. I would wait until 10.5 is out, then buy after 10.5 comes out. That way, if version 11 comes out within 12 months, you get that free upgrade. So that's how I would do it personally. But yes, the short answer to your question is yes, I think it's worth it. I really do. Let's see. Let's see. Malware. Okay, Jim Hester. Malwarebytes Pro keeps stopping my download of vCarve 10.019 from the link at the top of vCarve. Anyone else having that problem? Very simple fix for that, Jim. Turn off Malwarebytes for that particular session. I mean, I don't run Malwarebytes 100% of the time. I use it once a month just to do a virus scan. Just shut it off, download it, upgrade it, then turn it back on. I used to use Avast antivirus, and it would sometimes have problems with that. Notice I say used to use Avast antivirus. That was just one of the many things that was an annoyance to me. Let's see. Gunnar Norum, somewhat related. What would you recommend is the best way to fit a line of text to a very curved slab of wood? It's a sign with about 30 letters in a line. The slab is almost S-shaped. What I would do, you could set a middle line between two curves. What I would do is try to get as straight of a photograph of that piece of wood as you could from right up above, and just try to get as straight a shot as possible, and then import that picture into vCarve, and then using just draw a curve tool, trace the outlines of that slab of wood, and then try to curve your text in between those two lines. I mean, it's something to play with. It's something to try, but it's definitely doable. Let's see. Greg Hurt, something simple. Is there a way to simply highlight the vector and duplicate it? Yes, there is. Select the vector, Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste right there. It will be selected. Click on it again. You're in move and transform mode. Then just move it to wherever you want to move it. Let's see. Can you set a middle line between two curves? Yes, you can. And that was in the first Distort video. So, Hobbies Woodshop in the house. How you doing? Herb Lichtenberg. How you doing? Gunnar Norum. Sorry for spelling. Wrong glasses. You too, huh? I keep this set right here on my keyboard. I have 4 other sets of glasses in the house and 2 out in the shed. So, okay, let's see. I'm guessing that's about it. Okay, e-cabinet tips and tricks. Do you have any videos on how to set up your machine before cutting a project? No, I don't. And the main reason is because every machine is different. What I suggest to everyone is check out the website of your machine's manufacturer and hit the support forum. There was usually a link up at the top somewhere that says support or forum or support forum. And a lot of people have, there's a little bit of confusion on what a support forum is. Support forum is hosted by the manufacturer, and like Inventables has one. Let's see. Laguna has one, ShopBot has one, Next Wave, CNC Shark, all those. They have a support forum. There may be one or two employees of that company on the support forum, but overwhelmingly what it is they are users who own one of your machines, just like you, who get in there and help one another out on situations like this. So if you own, for example, a Shapeoko, you can go to the Shapeoko support forum and talk to people who own Shapeokos, know your machine, know how to set up, have been there and done that. And they're the people to talk to. They're the pros from Dover. They know your machine. They know your equipment. They probably know what you want to do and have done it. They'd be the ones to help you. I am not a CNC router or mill expert. I know the tools that I'm using and the software that I'm using, but like I've never been in the same room with a Laguna IQ or an Axiom or most of the machines out there. Let's see. Gunner says he has the shape as a vector. Thanks that I'm not doing it wrong. If you're getting the result that you want, you're doing it right. That's basically easy. So, it looks like that's going to be about it. Yeah, we've been on for about 36 minutes. So I try to keep these under 40 minutes long because folks just don't want to come back and watch a 2-hour long video. So I want to thank everybody for coming along with me on this little journey here. I probably will be doing that Distort 3D model video next week. Again, sorry, but that's for Aspire only. The option is not available in VCarve Pro or desktop. That'll probably be next week, and then that'll put all the distortion videos behind me, and then where we go from there, heaven only knows. Y'all check out Dave's channel. Check out Javi's Wood Shop's channel. He's over here in the chat right now. Again, put your cursor over his name over there in the chat. Hit them 3 dots. Right-click, go to channel. Go subscribe. He's got some big stuff coming up. I will put links to Dave's channel. I think Dave is already in the description of every video I do. I will put a link to Javi's channel and his website and in the description. And as usual, there is a link to the playlist of all of the Absolute Beginner series down in the description. And I will get Rob Schuster's video on the applying text to that 3D book carving put down in the description. Give me about 5-10 minutes. So, yeah, Percy, you're looking forward to the video on rebooting after a power cut. That kind of got shoved to the side because one of the sources that I quote in that video, he's doing some website maintenance and his website isn't ready yet, so I'm kind of waiting on him. I don't want to flood him with inquiries before his website's ready to handle it. So it was just bad timing on my part. So, but that will be coming. Okay. Thanks a lot, y'all. Have a great Sunday. Thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate. Thank you, Patrick, for the super chat. And y'all go outside and make some chips. Get out of the house. Have some fun.